Well, hello friends, welcome back to the program. Today we are going to play FIXME Roulette once more because it's just so much fun to make these videos and it really feels like we're getting stuff done. So let's just keep it going. If this is your first time, what we do is we git grep for FIXME or to do in the Serenity OS codebase. And somebody asked how many we're selecting from. So that is up to 5,496. And the reason that has increased a bit is because we are now doing, well, we started with just FIXME, but now we're doing FIXME and to do. And now we're also doing caseless. So if there's a lowercase FIXME or lowercase to do, we will get those as well. So quite a chunky selection, but what we are going to do is we're just going to pipe that to shuffle1, so we get one random one, and then we try to fix it, or at least make progress on it. We'll see. So today we are going to be working on PNG writer. Okay, handle failure. So PNG writer, line 271. Handle out of memory failure. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, here's actually an example of a lowercase FIXME as well, but we got the uppercase one right above it. So this function does not have a way to tell the caller that we ran out of memory. So in order to handle failure here, we're going to need to do a bunch of stuff, I think, because I think the API that we want to use here, we want to use the copy API because it does return error or. And if we are unable to allocate a copy of the byte buffer, then we will get an out of memory error returned. But here we are just kind of, we're just assuming that it succeeded. That's what this API does. That's why it's called this awkward thing, because it's supposed to make you look at it and say, huh, well, that looks terrible. Like, how can I get rid of that? And the way we get rid of these is that we have to try, basically. But we can't actually try because the return type of encode is byte buffer. So the return type here assumes that we succeed. So we have to make the return type be error or byte buffer as well. And if we do that, then we should be able to do this. And we have to update it here. But then there's going to be people who call this, and we're going to have to deal with it in those various locations. Also, I feel like in the spirit of this FIXME here, handle failure, like, it seems like we could also run out of memory during any of these steps, right? Because these are incrementally building up the PNG file in memory before copying the whole thing into a byte buffer. In fact, what is this thing? Oh, it's a vector of data. Okay. Yeah, so a vector of bytes, sorry. So at any step during the PNG encoding algorithm, we might have failed to grow this vector, for example, and I don't think we surface that anywhere either. And in fact, we have a FIXME here, handle errors, but we currently just panic the program if you get here. Do we append? Yeah, we do append without thinking to the data, and append internally is must, which means that if it fails, it will panic the program. So there's a lot of hidden panics in this PNG writer class. Cool. So let's see if we can just deal with them, basically. So I guess step one is to make encode return error or byte buffer. So let me keep that. Let me see if, okay, let me just get on a clean master so that we can just work on this in peace. Okay, and actually if I make, I don't need the try here because this function already returns error or byte buffer, so I don't need to wrap it in try. It should just like flow right through, but we do need to do that. Okay, so if we do this, what breaks? And also, it's probably going to be a bit of a rebuild here because I have been doing a big string class rewrite locally. So we'll let this work in the background, but we can search the code base for PNG writer encode. Okay, so it's used in a bunch of places. Cool. Like, let's look at this. I mean, let's use open and find window here actually. And then Control Alt up and down to move between them. That is very nifty. Okay, so starting here in browser window, this looks like a context where we can already use try, which is really convenient because then we can just wrap this and try as well. And yeah, this is just a problem with the latest version of CLion. I think somebody said it's because CLion ships with a like a modified version of Clang that has like patches that happened after the latest Clang release or something like that, and because of that they have a bug that wasn't present in the release. I don't know. Anyway, this is not a real bug. It's just irritating that it makes red squiggles. In fact, this is making me wonder if we should just fix this. I think I got JetBrains toolbox. Let me see if I can just get an older version of CLion up in here. In the meantime, let's look at some more here. So another error situation. So it's actually okay to just let it flow through because this now returns error by buffer. So we don't need to change anything here. Here we have error or void. So again, already prepped and ready to use try. That's very good. Okay, let's see how to do this. CLion, this is what I have installed. I want an older version. Other versions, please. Oh, wait. Oh, this is a much older version. Oh my goodness, this is too old. Too old and too weird. Exit. I guess I'll just get this version as well. Yeah, JetBrains Toolbox is very handy. It just allows you to install older versions of their software with the click of a mouse, which is nice sometimes. I should have known better than to upgrade to the latest CLion within a week after it was released. Okay, so here encoded data is a byte buffer. So here in the Mandelbrot program, Mandelbrot. In this program, we cannot handle a failure. We have nowhere to propagate it to, and I'm not allowed to add FIXMEs in these videos. So I forgot to mention at the start of the video, I'm not allowed to add new FIXMEs in these videos. I have to deal with it as we go. So I guess the right thing to do here is to make this thing propagate errors as well. So we will say error or void, export image. And let's see, export image, error or void. And then these fellas need to do something with the error. So if, let's store it in a result thing. And then result, if it's an error, then result error, we just want to show error. Oh, do we have a window? I guess we have the window like that. and then a string view. Okay, so string formatted. Yeah, something just like that. Doesn't have to be fancy. We just want to show the error, basically. Okay, and then we do the same thing for all of the different ones. We just swap out the format that is being encoded. So that wasn't particularly painful. Okay, and then let's see what else we got. PNG writer, HTML canvas element. So in the browser, the strat at the moment is basically just to must everything that has to succeed. Although I guess if we are unable to do this, so encoded bitmap or error, if encoded bitmap or error is error, then let's say PNG writer failed to encode the HTML canvas element. Yeah, for now, there is no path that we can use to surface this error, but we can at least log it and continue as if no data URL was produced by calling canvas.toData URL or whatever. Okay, good enough. Spice agent. What is this code? On message received. This looks vaguely auto-generated almost. I guess it's not. Let me look at the other ones that we had. Headless browser. In the headless browser, it seems like the strat for fallible things is just to must. So I will piggyback on the strat in the containing code. Here, encoded bitmap. So it's currently checking is empty, but we will just convert that to is error instead. And then encoded bitmap. I guess we can say something like this. And then we will release the value into a nicer named thing, and then we'll just keep working. So then that leaves us with only Spice agent. So what do we need to do here? If we are receiving a clipboard request for something, clipboard request. I don't know the Spice protocol, but we're receiving a Spice clipboard request. And I guess it's asking for an image Serenity OS thing, and we're just going to give it a raw PNG encoded bitmap back. Bytes is byte span, sure. Backing byte buffer, okay. So if that fails, what recourse do we have if these things fail? What do we normally do if one of these things fail? Here, if we fail to allocate, then here it will just crash or panic. Fail, fail, fail. I'm not sure what the error propagation path is for a Spice agent. Clipboard.data. I guess what we can do is just to wait, what is this thing? Oh, I was gonna say, like, what we can do is just give some empty data or something, but I don't know. Since there is no propagation path in this program, I'm gonna allow myself to go with a must here. I don't feel great about it. I don't know exactly what else to do about it either, though. So, let's see. Oh, I guess I should build with K0. So we had some problem here. We need to return something. Sure, just return. Okay. So we're just getting a bunch of error propagation logic. Export image. We can do the Mandelbrot. Okay, I gotta look this up. How to pronounce Mandelbrot. Mandelbrot. Is this important? I don't no, this is a distraction. Stop it. Okay. I'm just gonna call it Mandelbrot. Okay, so let's do this, switching the return type, not doing the try since it's not in the available in the first commit. And then yeah, we'll do these. So make it possible for export image to return to fail, to return an error. And if we get an error, present it to the user. If we do get an error. Okay. And then did everything just build? Not quite. Oh, okay, I got the, let me see if I can launch into the older sea lion. That'd be nice. Okay, so jumping back into an older version, please work. Okay, the color theme is gonna need a little bit of a tweak. I don't know why it has this thing. I feel like JT or Gunnar or somebody with a light theme. Wait, don't I have more themes? Okay, well, good enough. All right, so going back to, where was I looking at those try things? Yeah, now it's not choking on all the try macros, so that's really good. Okay. So, closey, and we should be in a good place. So then we can actually go ahead and make libgraphics PNG writer return an error from encode. Yeah, I think these changes are all good. Libgraphics plus userland, basically. Make graphics PNG writer encode return error or byte buffer. Ah. Okay, fine. Let's do it this way. Yeah, so this is a first step towards handling PNG encoding failures instead of just falling over and crashing the program. This patch, this initial step will cause encode to return an error if the final byte buffer copy fails to allocate. There are more issues, more potential failures that will be surfaced by subsequent commits. Okay. So now we need to we need to make these things know what to do with errors as well. So PNG writer has a vector, sure, okay, that seems okay. But I think we need to make all of these fellas right here do this little thing. Okay, are you upset at the Clang format thing now? Oh, come on. The colorization of the variables is so weird. I think I have some kind of colorization thing turned on. I forget what that thing was called. Okay, let's not get distracted with that. Let's just leave it like this. This is fine. But let's go and first thing we have to do is just wrap all these and try so that in case one of them fails, we will short circuit the encode. So far, so good. And then we probably have a bunch of things now. Yeah. So this needs to be error or, and then this calls vector append, which should be replaced with try append, which we can then return because it returns error or void as well. So we can do that, or I don't know which one is more idiomatic, like doing this. It might be a little bit nicer. Like doing this while correct, it feels a bit like, I don't know. Like I'm kind of imagining the error or thing as an invisible aspect of the return type. So I'm not really trying to return a value. It's just an implementation detail that errors are returned, if that makes sense. So doing it this way feels a bit more like expressive, I guess. Okay, so let's just oopsie doopsie. Okay, what are all these? Probably these are all add you. Wait, what does this do? Oh, it's just more just more appending stuff. Okay, so try and return. All right. And this thing has all these APIs that need to be like this as well. Okay, store type, data length. Okay, let's try this out. Okay. Store data length. Wait, what is going on here? Big endian. So this does not allocate, and there's a mem copy. So this thing can't actually fail. Okay. My bad. Store data length cannot fail, so that thing does not need to return error or void. Cool. You can fail. All right. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's a bunch of grunt work, but we're going to be better off in the end because it will mean that if we run out of memory while encoding a PNG, we can handle that gracefully instead of just crashing. And handling out of memory conditions, it's one of those things that in the past I always thought, that's not really feasible. You can't really do that. It's too much work. And what you're watching is our great experiment to see what happens if we try to do that work, basically. Store data length is fine, but this one needs try. Sure. Right. Oh, and then it does add in the constructor. Well, that's not going to fly. That's annoying. We'll come back to that one, I guess. Wait, what is reserve? PNG writer reserve. Yeah, that also becomes error or void. Okay. Do you have try ensure capacity? Yes, you do. Try. Cool. Okay, we're getting closer. Getting closer and closer. And this thing right here, handle errors, this can just get yoinked into a try. Like that. At least that's pretty nice. Or at least I thought so. Wait, what's going on here? What don't you like? Oh, it's a has value, so it's returns optional. Right, my bad, my bad. Okay, so it's not as easy as using try, but we can at least raise an error here. So what should we say when this fails? I guess since it doesn't tell us anything, we just have to make up our own error for now. So we will make our own error and say something like zlib compression failed. Yeah, something like that. Zlib compressor failed. Maybe in the future we will have zlib compressor can hand out an error that tells you something more, but at the moment, all we get is an optional byte buffer, so that's what we have to work with. Okay, so the remaining issue is these two here in the PNG chunk constructor. So the constructor thinks it can go and do fallible things. That's not gonna work. I guess technically we could like cheese it by giving the data like enough capacity to hold. Wait, what am I looking at? PNG chunk, M data. It's a byte buffer. Byte buffer has append. Append. Of course it has append. Okay. I guess I don't typically use byte buffers much, but yeah, byte buffer has append. Okay, so we append in the constructor. Data length type is U32. So I think technically speaking, Wait, what is the type? It's a string. Technically, it's probably always safe because the byte buffer that we're using has a default inline capacity of 32 bytes. I think that's what that is. Yeah. And it should never be more than 32 bytes in the chunk name and the chunk. Wait, what is this even doing? Store type. Add data length type. So it's adding a U32 0. So it's adding 4 bytes with a 0, and then it's adding the string that has the header name. So PNG chunk. Like it's adding these, which are 4 characters, so 4 bytes. I think they're always 4 characters. So we're adding 8 bytes, which will always fit in the 32 byte buffer inline capacity. So I think it's actually safe to do that in the constructor. We can use must, and then we don't have to like refactor it so it works in a different way. It's a little bit weird, but wait, now I'm getting totally lost here. PNG chunk. Yeah, so I think we can must these, but we're gonna must these with a comment. Note, these are must because they should always be able to fit in the byte buffer's inline capacity. In mdatas. Maybe we could even verify that somehow. Capacity is greater than or equal to 8, I guess, which is what we are. Well, we don't need to say that actually because we are musting these things already. That's probably okay. Okay, so that builds. Let me see if it runs. Okay, so we are booted. Let's make a screenshot. So that saved a PNG. So we didn't break PNG encoding, at least. That's a good sign. And we have the Mandelbrot program, which can export as PNG. Click. So that just works. So let's see what happens if we just inject a failure somewhere. We will say that one of these fellas, like adding the IDAT chunk, add IDAT chunk. Let's just say that this fails at some point, like from string literal. Actually, I have no memory, or whatever, just something, just to see if the error propagates out to the user and we get a message box when we try to do this. So let's test it out in Mandelbrot. So file exists, sure. Actually, I have no memory. Hey, but the program still runs. So as far as it's concerned, we ran out of memory while encoding the PNG, but the error just propagated out and became a message box instead. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So I think we're in a pretty good place with that. Lib graphics. Propagate errors. Propagate all possible. Well, all possible errors is a iffy thing to say, right? Because maybe there are other errors that I'm forgetting to think of, but propagate errors that occur internally in PNG writer. Yeah, so this patch basically uses the try macro throughout PNG writer instead of relying on the musting wrappers in vector and byte buffer. Musting. Should we say musting or musting like this? Well, this looks nicer to me somehow. Yeah, that's awesome. One FIXME was killed in the making of this patch. Should have mentioned that we took care of 2 FIXMEs in the previous one, so let's actually tweak that commit message. 2 FIXMEs were killed in the making of this patch. Cool. All right. I think that's basically it, right? Do we have any must in here? Only these 2 that we added, right? And do we have any like dot append? Ooh, we do have some dot append. Ooh. We still have dot append. Okay. So, let's see about these. So filter dot append. It appends to a byte buffer. Right, so these can also fail. Let's be good boys and surface all the possible failures. Okay, try append. Try append. Cool. And then try. It's like that Pink song. Gotta get up and try. You have to get up and try. Okay. Do we have more data appends that are these things right here? Uncompressed block data. Yeah. So I guess we just gotta wrap those too. So they will have to be wrapped in try, and then we use try append. One day, we will not have like the variant of append that assumes allocation always succeeds. But today, we have both append and try append. Okay, yeah, so append, we're good. Do we have any dot resize? Ensure capacity, cool. Those can also fail. Well, I mean, we're just gonna have to, let's see, let's just do a little bit of a multi-edit like this. So I'll try. Should have said try like that. Okay. And then this actually goes in the last commit that we already had. Okay. So I feel good about this change. This is very, very nice, making the system more robust, which of course, the ultimate goal of stuff like this is to make the system more robust, because being able to handle running out of memory is something cool about it, I think. Like, oh, I ran out of memory, not to worry. We're still where we were. Like, we're not crashing, we're not grinding to a halt. We just can't do the thing that you asked. So, but it didn't break. Yes. So very, very cool. Yeah, I think as long as it keeps working, there isn't really anything mechanical to look at here. In the future, we should probably come up with, well, we need a couple of different mechanisms, but like one that would be particularly cool is like a random failure injection mode where it just like every now and then malloc will fail, and you can put your system to run in that mode and then sort of see how it behaves in response to that malloc failing. And it's something that we've tried in the kernel a lot in the past just to improve the stability of the kernel, and it's very good at exposing lots of issues. But that's not for today, it's for another day. So I think we're going to end the video here. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching, for hanging out, and I'm pretty happy with the results. I think we've improved our PNG writer by making it resilient in the face of So good results. Yeah, and I should say, if you have comments on the code, like, oh, you made a mistake here, or it could be better if you did this or that, there's a link to the pull request that I'm making in the video description. And if you have comments on the code or suggestions or improvements we can make, I really appreciate it if you leave those on GitHub, because then we can actually track them in the sort of natural environment where they belong. I appreciate all the comments I get on the code, but it's not so easy to keep track of them when they are in YouTube comments. Anyway, hope you liked the video. See you all next time.